Just all breathe for like the next 30 seconds.
Are we doing it?
Doing what?
Does
Are
it
we
sound
breathing?
better? Does it
Yeah.
sound work? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So we're all. I kind of saw the lights over there. So
Did you see the light, David?
yes.
You saw the
I was
light.
Blinded by the moon. Wrapped up like a deuce. Another runner in the night. Blinded by. Ooh. Nice.
Thank you. That was my.
That's good.
Are we in?
Of course we're in.
Oh, loving it.
Do it.
Look at my head.
Yeah, you're cutting it off.
You got a shoe on the table. You know what?
Don't put it.
Come on. You have a shoe.
What?
All right, Dave. There we go. Nice. Cool shoe, man.
Yeah.
You want to do a podcast?
Yep.
Let's do a podcast.
Unidentical.
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 What's up? Welcome back to Unidentical. Please continue to rate and review at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever it is that you download your podcast. Also, check us out on YouTube, Unidentical Pod on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then hit and ring that notification bell. I was going to say dong it.
Dong.
That sounds weird. Ring notification bell. Also, one-stop shop, everything Unidentical. Go to unidenticalpod.com. That is unidenticalpod.com. We have links to the episodes. We have links to merchandise. We have links upon links. We got links on links on links on links. Get your t-shirt. David got his.
I did. Look at it. It's neat, right?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, this is the YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Is it?
That's what this
I put one of my stand-up shorts on there. See, we got all the stuff. We're ready to
We've
go.
got all
You're
the
legit.
things. Everything is in place.
Yes, and
It's
as
just-
always, we are broadcasting here in Long Beach, California, at the podcast place.
Without
Long Beach,
the.
California. Podcast place.
Welcome to Podcast Place.
We're gonna redact the.
You know, I tried to buy the podcast place. I don't think it's available.
Really? But you own podcast place.
Correct.
Hear that, people? Don't try to bite. Yum. Yum.
Who was that again?
UTFO.
All right.
What else? Oh, upcoming gigs. Where am I going to be, dude? May 2nd through the 6th. I will be in Laughlin, Nevada at the Riverside Casino and Resort. That is May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Is that May that you just said?
May.
Oh.
Yeah, May. It's going to be May.
Yeah. Laughlin.
With some
sounds
good
like
buddies of
very
mine. We're going to do some Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Drinko, dude.
They say that. I think that's Laughlin's a place where they say Cinco.
Yeah,
de Drinko.
big time. Any kind of like river people, the river culture.
River. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to the river.
You guys want to got river?
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the river.
Let's go to Hollis.
That's
So-
some of the whitest things you could ever say. Is,
Yeah.
Dude, you want to go to the river, dude? We should go to the river, dude. We'll go boating and drinking and off-road.
There's no way I
river.
I just think of Miller Lite and just like these burned up middle-aged women in bikinis.
Oh, yeah. Just
Looking like-
leather.
Yeah.
These
Leather
leather
babies.
women in tubes. It's good tubing. And they're
tubing.
just wasted on the river. That's all I picture. Just
That's
middle-aged
the name of the album.
saddlebags, just scoot even and drinks. And what do you think they drink? Bud. They're drinking.
I don't know.
Our generation, they're gonna definitely drink Coors.
Coors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a river. If I'm gonna do a river type of thing or anything like that, it's got to be just glamping, not camping. I want to be
Right.
glamping.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
a beautiful houseboat with 6 bathrooms,
Several generators.
several generators. I want it to be right. I want to basically feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
Think about this, though. Think about the current state of modern travel. You pay more just for emulating your home experience. That's what the whole cost thing
That's
is all
funny.
about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Why do I want to be at home if I'm
Yeah,
on
if
vacation?
you go on one of these planes that goes to like Dubai or whatever, and you got a full-size bed, you're
Been
paying
there.
through the nose.
Well, I
But
didn't.
That's
I
what you
know.
pay for, just to
Right.
emulate the experience of home.
Yeah, but being able to lay flat on a bed in a plane, it's so nice. It's so nice.
Bragging.
I'm not gonna lie. It's so nice.
I've never done
Lay flat and then during the day, because it's a long flight, it's like a 17-hour flight. So
Right.
that. You know how fun
That's
I
2
end up
sleeps.
sleeping. I would love
it's 2
that.
sleeps. So during the day, we're up. There's a bar on the plane that you go to the back of the plane. There's like a full-on bar that you can hang
Like
out
you
and
can
have-
stand up and just
Yeah.
walk around.
Oh, it's a bar. Yeah. And then you get back from the bar at a certain time and your bed is made. Your bed is like turned down, like ready
Like
for
a
you to sleep
hotel.
in. Oh man, it's
Yeah.
insane. And there's a big screen. You got your own little. It's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah. So I'll be in the desert, dude, for Cinco de Rinca.
You didn't need either in the
Good Teben. May 8th, I'm going to be at the Crow in Santa Monica with Mr. Brian Callen. Brian Callen and I will be doing a show there. He'll be there moving his body as he does. He's such a dancer. He's such a dancing queen, and I think it's adorable.
So how was Wisconsin?
I can go.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that video, you're talking about the video?
Is that
I
an older
posted?
video?
Yeah, it's an older video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that was in December.
All right.
Yeah, but
So-
it was awesome.
So it was cold in Wisconsin. in
Cold
December.
as a witch's titty. Colder than a well digger's butt, as they say.
It's a good one.
I don't think I heard that one before.
My
Whoever they
grandmother
are.
used to say that one. Colder than a well digger's ass because she didn't church it up for the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go with me
I
tomorrow.
understand these things. I hear this all the time. There's just numbers and what town, what? And people ask me, where's Jay? And I'm like, he could be on the moon for all I know.
Oh, that's how it is with me, and I'm there.
Yeah.
I've done a gig where I said, "What's up, whatever city," and it was the wrong city.
You've done that?
Yeah.
I always
Wow.
thought that was a funny thing that
Yeah.
people just made up. But
There's ASU, there's University of Arizona, and
Right.
there's Arizona University.
Yeah.
One's in Tacoma, or no, one's
Tacoma's in
not
Washington.
Tacoma, Tucson, Tuscan,
right.
Tucson, Arizona, and one's in
Phoenix.
Tempe.
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 And we did both colleges.
you
And
did-
I went up and shouted out the wrong college, and,
Yeah.
and it was,
Oh man,
bad.
that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah,
actually.
it's bad.
Did you get booed?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
you-
Spartans. I mean, is that what you guys' mascot is? I don't know what their mascot is.
The little guy with the pitch, the sun.
Tritons. Titans.
Mm.
That's
I,
Tempe.
I think your
Yeah.
name is still on a list somewhere.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been asked back.
Yeah. So for shot.
They gave me a hat too with their thing on it. But whatever, I still killed whatever it did. Whatever it did. All over the river and go to T-Ben. Real quick, I was talking about the show I'm doing, Cinco de Drinko. It's these guys, the Dirty at 12:30. Shout out
that Vegas.
Dirty
Yeah.
at 12:30. Yeah.
Oh, the shirt.
Yep. Dirty at 12:30 is the biggest local show, award-winning local show in Las Vegas. It's every Friday night. It's at South Point Casino at 12:30.
Okay,
30
I
at
was gonna say
12:30.
12:30 p.m. or a.m.
Yeah.
but-
And if you can't handle it, there's the clean at 5:15. I'm just kidding. That's not a thing.
Let's do that.
Are you still? You told me something on the way here in the car that you've heard some more shit about the OJ stuff.
Yeah, I just started kind of going down a rabbit hole, and there's this one. Oh man, there's this one guy that worked with him, that worked for him since 1999 and on.
Was he a cop?
I don't know if he was a cop, but
It wasn't
all I know-
Ron Ship.
No. It's a guy that he wasn't. Ron Ship was way before. Ron
Oh.
Ship was his friend when.
Oh, this was after the
Yeah.
incident.
Right. But yeah, like one of the things that it really points to is that he thinks it was a revenge, a whole very orchestrated revenge plot by Kardashian.
What was a revenge plot?
What happened to Nicole?
Really?
Mhm.
What was he trying to get revenge for?
You don't know the whole thing with Chris. What's her face?
Jenner.
That one. Yeah. When they were all friends back in the day.
Yeah.
And they would do couples things and retreats and allegedly OJ
Got
took
a
advantage
snacks?
in a jacuzzi, and it was
Oh, well,
kind of violent. And
oh, in front of everyone?
Took
You know,
advantage of whom?
Chris.
Oh,
Allegedly.
so they weren't all together
Allegedly.
in the jacuzzi.
No. It was
the two
just
of
OJ and Chris.
them. Whoa.
And he got real aggressive and she ended up having to go to the hospital apparently. Even.
Well, why?
Yeah.
Why take that out on
Yeah.
Nicole and Ron?
Well, no. I don't think it was. I don't think Ron was supposed to be there, but it was mainly.
So
It's
the
this whole. You got to see it. It's a. God, I wish.
So the
you know
the
my
elder-
brain. I don't retain names like.
so the elder Kardashian had her killed and then framed OJ and then became his lawyer.
No.
Okay,
See, again,
I
I don't see.
understand.
That's why I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to talk out of turn and say things that I don't. You know how people just go blah 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 and say
I
things I
talk
don't
out
really
of
know.
turn all the time.
But what and again, my short-term memory is horrible, and this is oftentimes I have to watch these things twice to have it
Well, I'm going to look
stay.
into that.
But
Kardashian angle.
that's part of it. That's part of it, and a lot of it was another big thing was that it was supposed to just be a scare thing, and he hired a guy who was suggested to him by Kardashian, who ended up being like a serial killer.
So this guy might still be at large.
So wait,
No, he's not.
Who hired
He-
him? OJ hired him?
No, Kardashian.
Oh, you
To-
said Kardashian hired a guy.
Because OJ,
That makes sense.
listen, because OJ was tired of, again, allegedly, OJ was tired of paying all the drug bills of Nicole's habit of drugs, I guess.
Yo, that makes sense. On the documentary, there was a scene where his old manager said to him that OJ said to him while he was high and drinking, he said, if she didn't answer the door with a knife, she'd still be alive. And that goes to what you said. It could have just been a scared prank. Not prank, but
Yeah.
scare tactic.
Again, understand, I'm speaking of that, I'm a bit high right now. That could also be part of that. I'm having trouble remembering, but that was one of the things, and it was like he was just, I'm sick and tired, and they also had a enhanced, that whole famous phone call, the 911 call that everybody talked about, where he was yelling in the background, and she was like, "Come on, he's gonna get." Well, they had a whole enhancement of the audio of what he was actually yelling and why he was pissed off, and it's because
Do you remember what he was?
kids were upstairs and they were having like a
Well, he was
party, crazy sex party or something downstairs,
yeah.
and that's what he was pissed about, and he was like these. And again, this is
Whoa.
all alleged. I'm not, saying this was, the facts, but this is what this. But he had all these documents and timelines and witnesses, and
What
the
is
guy
the
who
name of this?
actually the one who supposedly actually did the actual, unaliving. He is saying he's in prison now for
So-
murder, and he's saying, yeah, it was.
So they're saying. So
No
he's saying it
way.
wasn't OJ.
No, he was there, and he actually, I want to say he got in a scuffle with Ron. Ron was killed first,
Whoa.
Which goes to the thing.
and
of they're saying
she
multiple
came
people.
out, and because this person who was to be there to do it was a acquaintance of her. She knew him.
Shit.
She knew him, and so one of the things is he said he kind of was on the porch with her. You notice how she was at the bottom with the with her head out.
Yeah.
He walked up there and was walking out. He was like, "Here, come out and talk to me." And when she spotted Ron down,
Mm.
already down, then he got her
Whoa.
from behind, and
this is
she
all-
fell down the stairs right there.
Yeah, and this conspiracy theory is all that OJ didn't do it. It was this other person, but OJ was present.
He was there. He orchestrated it, and he
Ah.
told
It was like-
Kardashian. And this is, and again, I could be remembering not all the details because I'm like, I was also in the middle of some other things, but
Getting high.
no, designing and shit. But
Right.
he orchestrated it, OJ, and Kardashian was like, okay, and then aside from that, Kardashian's own mind was like, okay, I'm going to use this to get my revenge.
Damn.
Because it was not supposed to be
And that could
it
be-
wasn't supposed to be an unaliving.
It was
Apparently.
supposed to be a scare.
Mhm.
And that might be, or it could be, the reason that, if you remember when they called out the verdict, not guilty, the look on Kardashian's face,
Mm.
on Robert
Yeah, everybody
Kardashian's
talks
face, he
about
was just like, oh.
Everybody was elated but him.
Really?
If
If
you
you-
look at it, yeah. If you watch the replay.
When they announced the
And
verdict,
again, you can't,
all the
again,
lawyers
this is all
were
just,
yay, and then
this is
we
all
did
just
it.
opinion because everybody handles emotions different ways. But it was pretty interesting how he was like his face looked like, what?
Damn. That's,
Yeah, and everybody else
that's
was
deep.
like,
I want to watch this. If you could remember the title.
I shared it
camera.
with somebody else, so it's still on my, and I'll just get it over to you. And,
yeah, I want to watch that.
But so yeah, that's I kind of binged out on that a little bit, and then I was over the whole OJ thing, and then I
eat
went into
this
the World
stuff
War
up,
II.
man.
Yeah,
And then you went into World War II, is that what you said?
yeah,
Shit, that's insane.
yeah. But yeah, man.
See, now I want to see his face though.
Yeah.
Oh, Kardashian.
And he's very like his whole concern is what people think of him. He
OJ.
doesn't- yeah,
Yeah.
It's all about.
Well, if you remember the letter,
Mm-hmm,
remember the old OJ. Remember the OJ that you liked.
mm-hmm.
Don't
I
remember
watched
this
that.
one.
I also watched that interview he did with the author about the If I Did It, where he was sitting down with the.
I gotta watch that.
And he would do this weird thing he kept doing that was so annoying. he would say he would say something, and you know what I mean, right? Like, and when he wouldn't get a reaction, he'd go, in any event.
Oh,
That was like his awkward, in any event.
All right.
I
And
do
like,
remember.
He was saying,
I
this woman,
wanna see
listen.
this.
This woman was brutally unalived.
Oh, that's
and
the
he
look right
started
there?
talking about
Whoa, look at that look. Look at that
let
freeze
me finish.
frame.
Because I'll lose my train of thought. So he started talking about her in such a, like, he said, yeah, I was only going over there because, we still got along, and I thought, hey, maybe I can get some, He's talking that way about this woman who was brutally unalived, the woman, the mother. And then he goes, and the woman's just kind of staring at him like, are you kidding me? And he goes, in any event. And anytime he would say a thing and do that awkward laugh, he would go, in any event. But he didn't he didn't see that he was saying these such weirdly disrespectful things about,
if you remember,
past, this woman who was the mother of his children.
Mad TV original cast, Orlando. Can't remember his name.
I'm sorry, I was in the just because if I stop talking, I'll forget what I'm talking about. What, were you going to want to see his reaction? Did you guys?
Oh, we saw it.
Well, here, let's see.
Look at it. Look at that freeze. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the play real quick. Let's see. Oh, well, none of them look really happy.
Look at Johnny, dude. Johnny keeps kissing him and putting his head on his shoulder.
Yeah. Crazy.
Whoa. Mad TV, they did a sketch about that thing you were talking about where he's laughing and giggling, and Orlando is playing OJ in it. And the bit was he would just hysterically start laughing.
It was
the bloopers. It was the blooper reel of that.
I remember that, dude. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it was so weird for him to be talking about knowing what happened to her and how.
Trying to get some.
And he's like giggling and laughing, dude. It was weird.
Oh,
and he would go, in any event. That was his little phrase.
That's
that
such a weird.
Yeah.
Because people say at any rate, and I don't know what any of that shit means.
Yeah.
In any event, what?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
That's just one of those space fillers.
Yeah. It's like the kids today like.
Yeah.
They throw like between every other word. Like, like what I'm talking like. With hip hop and hip hop and rappers, it's, know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? And then, I was thinking this, I know what I'm saying. And know what I'm saying? And then they would say, know what I'm saying before the thing they said. Like, know what I'm saying? Not yet, because you haven't said it, but now you've said it, so now I know what you're saying. Kind of.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Damn, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Orlando Jones, right?
Yeah, Jones.
Wasn't he
he's got the glove.
like 7 Up
Look
guy?
at, watch. Is it?
Oh, see, I never saw any of this.
Oh, dude.
Oh, anyway.
Look at.
Bloopers, blunders, and
Oh.
wow.
Artie.
Oh man.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
And that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When it was still like, ooh. And so sometimes you're like a little cringy because you're making, jokes about this horrible thing that happened. But then at the same time, we're comedians, and that's how you kind of handle shit.
Right.
Yeah.
In any event.
At any rate, know what I'm saying? Like,
Or the one I've gotten recently is On God, like a lot.
Yeah.
that's like you're telling the truth.
Yeah, like, I swear on my mother. I swear on
God.
I swear to God. Yeah.
Remember the episode we had my friend Molly Gibson on, and we were talking about all those words. And David and I had no clue what any of them meant. Well, you kind of did.
No, yeah, some.
Yeah.
On God. Ick.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
New ick.
Isn't that cringe?
Cringe. New cringe.
Yeah. And most of them were like generational as opposed to like ethnic, you know what I mean? Or cultural.
All of them are.
Yeah.
Speaking of cringe, there's a YouTube channel, not a YouTube channel, an Instagram page called the Cringe Club.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bunch of cringy ass videos, and the captions are the best because there's never really a caption. All it is I'm sorry. Just put sorry. And they just post this
funny. I'm trying to
cringy thing.
Because you just gave a good cringe story about when you said the wrong college.
Well, yeah.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, but
think of any that I did? I've any cringy shit that I've ever.
Not really, because when I think cringy, I don't think like something I did making myself cringe.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think of me. Here's what I think of cringy: when you're unaware of that what you're doing is ugh.
Oh yeah.
But everybody else is like, ugh. You see a lot of that in stand up. A lot of that in stand up. Too much of it in stand up.
You sound like you have some examples.
Oh boy, one of the things that I can't stand, and I'm not going to say any names. is people. One of the things that we're supposed to be doing now with stand up, it's because of the world that we live in, is we put little clips of our stand up sets on the applications, right? And it's very important that they're high quality sound, high quality video, and and it fills the whole screen. It's 4K. You got captions. It's very professionally done.
Right.
You have so many people throwing these videos of them because they feel like they just have to put stand up, and it's always new comics. And in my personal opinion, female comics that are young, new, that are putting up videos just to put them up, and they're just not good. You can barely hear what they're saying. There's no real joke. It's like they think it's a crowd work thing because the crowd's talking. No, that's not how it works. If you're going to do crowd work, you're talking to the crowd and reacting to it. But a lot of them is just the crowd saying something and then them going, it's just so cringy to me. It's so cringy to put these videos up when you're not ready. You're not ready.
Yeah.
You're not ready. Fucking get better. Get better. Refined. Cut out the fat.
Yeah.
Cut the fat out. And then
sometimes
put something up there that there's something. And that's the problem with content right now. Because to me, when you say content, it doesn't necessarily have to be funny.
Yeah, just the fact that it's called content.
Yeah.
these days,
Shit
like,
in a box is content.
Yeah.
Here, I got shit in this box. This box is containing shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shit that people are putting up as their content is exactly what it is. It's just their Instagram is containing shit. And it's working for a lot of people. That's what's crazy. But what I'm saying is, what makes me cringe is the ones that it's like a bar show, and you could tell they just set their cell phone up in a corner and it's blurry and people are walking in front of it and you can barely hear anything that you're saying, and there's no captions to let you know what's happening.
Now,
it's just
to be clear,
bleh.
those kind of gigs are part of the process.
Yes.
But why are you posting it?
Thank you.
I don't understand.
That's private.
Yeah.
That's the workout. That's the gym. And that's another thing with the problem with today is there's no private moments. Everything is just talked about and bragged about. People are taking pictures of themselves, editing up something, or like another thing a lot of people are doing is they're posting auditions. They're posting these auditions.
Yeah, you talked about that last time.
Of a shit that they're not even going to get.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Don't post about that. And I don't know what it is. I don't know who that's for. It can't be for the industry. Because the industry would be like, yo, this is a private script. Because a lot of times when you get the sides, your script, they have all the studios, like watermarks all across it. And it's private. It's like, this thing isn't out yet.
Right.
And now you're posting yourself.
IP.
Yeah. And it's just so cringy to me. And I just find singing and dancing cringy. Dude.
I don't know why.
I just think dancing is so cringe.
Yeah.
I just really do. And
Yeah.
what are you doing? You're moving. All you're doing is moving. And it's so like,
And the thing is that
it's nothing.
often, and I'm not saying that dancers are all like that, but sometimes it's like they're, really making a big deal of this.
Yeah. You know what I can't stand? When dancers try to dance funny. We're funny dancing. We have dance humor. It's, it's so, it makes my teeth numb. That's how I can't feel my face. It's so cringy. I'm so embarrassed for everybody.
What do they call the kids in high school who do theater?
Theater
kids?
Theater kids, yeah.
You must have hated them in your high school.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because they were
cool.
talented kids. I'm talking about like there's a couple people that okay, Molly Gibson, a good friend of mine, we had her on the pod. She's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
Like when she posts herself singing, I'm like, that's how it should be. When you're posting yourself singing, it should be good. You know what I mean? And she's amazing. But then, and I'll send her, whenever I find these videos, I'll just send it to her randomly. And it's some of these girls that are singing and they're horrible and they think they're great. And it's like, and they're hot. And that's the problem. There's not enough people in their life that tells them, yo, you suck at this. Because everybody wants to get in their guts, right? So not enough people, I mean, you look at the comments, you go, girl. You look amazing. This is great.
That's fire.
It's fire. And their tits are out. They're like, oh, it makes me want to scream. Oh, I can feel it in my teeth right now.
And there's that weird thing that they imitate all where they pronounce words oddly. Yeah.
L is for the way you look.
Why do they sing that? It's so weird.
All of them do it. It's the weirdest accent that a lot of these people have decided to take on. But
what gets me about it, what's the most cringe about it, is that they're copying. It's something you saw somewhere else. You're not being original.
Yeah,
this isn't original at all.
Exactly, and it's the same thing I talk about with stand-up cadence. There are certain comics. I was on a show one last night that you go up and they all talk like this. It's like this cadence that they all. I went to the bathroom the other day and. I don't know. It's like,
remember that?
Are you reading a book?
Remember in the 90s and comedians would go in the
there's like a lot of comics have that
laugh cue.
That laugh cue.
Right.
The joke, and that's when you're supposed to laugh, right?
Oh.
Because
I can't stand that.
And that's another thing that I cringe when they do that laugh. What would you just call it? Cue to laugh?
Laugh cue, yeah.
And then no one does. I love it so much at the same time of hating it.
Right.
And then I was like, Karen, they're not fucking laughing.
I remember that. I remember, and I'm not, a connoisseur of comedy, but I remember there was a lady who came out and she had a really unique style. And it was the first time I'd ever heard it, but she would say something like, yeah, so I walked into the store with a knife and then, I blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I heard that, it was so original. I thought that was really cool.
Smart. That's funny. And so then I walked into the store with a knife, and then
she finished it like store, then with a knife goes into the next sentence.
But you know who's amazing at that? Kevin Nealon.
Mr. Subliminal, yeah.
Kevin Nealon is so funny at that. He does this bit, the subliminal comedian.
Yeah.
It's so funny. But you got to be smart. Like the turns, like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a crazy turn. Yeah, you guys know Anthony Jeselnik? He's incredible at that. Like, you don't know where he's going to go with a joke, and it's always amazing.
Yeah.
It's always amazing. He was like, I was at a family function the other day, and, my nephew stood up and just announced, I'm addicted to porn. And I said, well, we can watch something else. It was like Thanksgiving. And then he said, I was at a bar the other day, and at the end of the bar, my favorite porn star was at the end of the bar. And the bartender walked up to me and I said, hey, you see that person at the end of the bar? They shouldn't be in here. They're 13.
Oh, no. God, no. When you were talking, you know what I just thought of, Jake, that you and I were talking about when we're talking about laugh cues? When you watch a comedy movie in the theater and the part that they've been showing for weeks,
and this is
why
everybody
everybody laughs like they never saw it before.
This is why Hollywood thinks we're dumb.
Right.
This is why Hollywood thinks we're dumb, because most of us are.
Mm-hmm.
And what Dave's talking about, I know exactly what you're saying. Like for months before the movie comes out, you're seeing the trailer. And the trailer always shows the funniest joke in the movie.
Right.
And you see it over and fucking over and over and over and over and over again. Then you go see the movie. And I swear to God, when me and my brother go into the movies and this happens, we look around like, am I taking crazy?
It's like, you guys
that
didn't
joke,
see this a fucking million times.
Yeah,
too?
the joke that was on the trailer comes on and everybody laughs hysterically like it's the first time they ever heard it. And David and I are like, the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I'm gonna play the context here. I'm the regular guy. You guys are industry guys.
No.
Okay.
So when that happens, though, it's a couple of things. Number one, you're getting the full context because you're watching the parts before and after. Second, it's that excitement.
You're giving
actually
writers way too much credit.
Seeing the part that you've been seeing, and you're enjoying it with everybody
now.
else. That's what it is.
I still can't. I don't understand it.
One time I was at the movies and I just went, okay, guys, it's coming. You're ready to laugh, you morons. Here it comes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Imagine doing that, really.
But yeah, those are so many ick and cringe things. And I have so many of them because I'm such a judgmental piece of shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know I judge the shit out of everybody.
Mm.
Oh, I can't stand bad comedy. And
Yeah, I
I can't stand bad comedy. And I can't stand bad comedy that people think is good.
Well,
That's even worse.
you're just wow.
Opinionated. I'm a
Okay.
very opinionated comedian. However, I'm getting to the point where, and you are too, and don't act like you're not, where I can't even be in the room if it's bad.
Oh.
We were at the Laugh Factory one night. This motherfucker, it was hilarious. We're up in the balcony, and this comic starts in, and David goes, "All right, I'm out." And just gets up and leaves.
Well, you know, there's that certain
Because you don't want to stay and be an asshole.
Yeah.
Because then you're worried, am I going to
So
yell
wait,
shit
you
out?
can tell by how they start that it's gonna.
Well-
Oh, if you've been around comedy as long as we have, you 100% can tell. You can
Yeah.
100% tell off the first few lines.
Really?
And one of the most cringiest things that a lot of these comedians do is they explain the joke first, then tell the joke.
What?
Yeah. It's like, he goes, man, it's like if the beach ball hit me right in the head, and you'd be like, and then he acts out the beach ball hitting him in the head. That's the same joke twice. There's a way to do it where it's more of a surprise and a shock.
Yeah.
And you seem right now, you're like, this can't be.
Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea, man.
It's
You have
crazy.
no idea how insane it is. The comedy world right now is celebrating mediocre shit. It's crazy.
And it's, in my opinion, the most disrespected. It's the one where everybody thinks they can do it.
Well, that's.
I'm
the
a comedy
evolution
snob.
of-
I don't get up on stage. I know that it takes a certain.
And
know?
I think I talked about this once on a podcast. Godfrey said it. You know the comedian Godfrey?
Yeah.
I love him. Very opinionated. My guy is very opinionated as well, but a lot of his opinions I agree with. But he said it perfectly. He said the reason that people do that, and the reason people come up to you after your shows and say, man, my friends tell me I should be doing stand-up and da-da-da-da-da, and it's the least respected art form, is because everyone has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Everyone has a sense
Right.
of humor. People don't leave, a musical or a play or the opera. This is what he used as an example. People don't leave the opera going, I could do that, because not everybody has a sense of opera.
Mhm.
Ah.
Mhm.
But everyone, whether it's good or bad, dirty, everyone has a sense of humor. Everyone.
Right.
And especially males, we've always wanted to make people laugh, especially the opposite sex.
Yeah.
That's how we get them.
I like him because he makes me laugh.
makes me laugh.
First thing you say.
How many times do you hear a girl say, I really want somebody with a sense of humor. I want somebody that can make me laugh. How many
Right.
times have you ever heard a dude say that?
Yeah.
Not often,
rarely.
ever.
Mhm.
If they have a good sense of humor and their own sense of humor, not something they're ripping off from me, that's a bonus. That's a plus. I love that.
Yeah.
But you'll never hear guys go, I really want a girl that can make me laugh. No, you don't. You want a girl that can make you come. That's all you want.
I was gonna say make a good steak sandwich
And
or
come.
something.
Yep, steak sandwiches and make you come. But everyone has a sense of humor, like I said. So
Mhm.
like the guy at the water cooler at work who's cracking everybody up with his jokes that he heard on television the night before. Of course, their friends are gonna be like, dude, you should do comedy. It looks easy. And comedy is one of the very few things that you could just show up day one and start doing. Musicians, you got to learn how to play the
Oh, yeah, you
instrument
need
first.
skill.
Right.
You
Even
know?
when you look at an incredible guitarist and you go, wow, he plays that guitar, he makes it look easy. You know it's not easy. You know
Right.
he trained decades on that thing.
Right.
But
You know
you
what I
know,
mean?
the funny thing is, I've met people when you talk to them and you hear them talk and they have comedic timing.
Right.
Just in the things that they say.
Mhm.
Or like they have facial gestures or just things like
Oh,
that.
we
It
have
just-
plenty of
just
friends that are
makes
that
it-
way.
You just know that
Yep.
they would be funny on stage.
Yep.
you know?
it can
Two of our best friends that I can name right now are that way. Brian McMahon,
Mhm.
Vincent Arfuso. Those two guys have like professional comedic timing.
Right.
They're freaking hilarious.
But never once are they like, oh, I can do stand up.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Brian's a firefighter
Yeah.
and Vince is a filmmaker.
Yeah.
You know, but
But that's the thing. That's a good point, though, because yes, you could look at a person and go, "Oh, wow, he's so funny." I bet it could be. There is a lot to say about translating to the stage.
a whole lot.
You can be funny with one-on-one or
Oh,
one-on
man.
two, but when you're standing in front of an
Yes.
audience with a microphone and they're expecting you to be funny,
Yep.
it's a completely different ballgame.
Craig,
Yeah.
a kid named Craig Conant, a friend of mine, he was doing a show and a guy was heckling, and Craig said, "You think you could do this? Da, da, da. Why don't you come up on stage?" Brings the guy up on stage. The guy says like 4 things and goes, "Ooh, this is a lot harder than I thought it was."
Yeah.
Hey, Craig, you want the microphone back? And Craig comes up, he puts his arm around, he goes, You gonna shut the fuck up now? And the guy goes, "Yup," and he goes back and sits
I
down.
love it.
It's a great clip.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's so much cringe in comedy, and then there's people that think that the comedy stage is for it's for whatever talent they have. You know, what I mean, like I'm gonna hula hoop, but then tell jokes. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna fire eat. And
again,
then
that
tell
goes
jokes.
back to the disrespected. It makes it look too easy. They're like, well, I have this skill. I bet I can be a comic with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I'd be pissed if I were you.
I have friends in comedy that they started off with some shtick thing with a funny outfit and and all these years later, they're just a regular guy on stage being funny. Like you don't need to bring all that extra bullshit.
Right.
Funny is funny no matter what.
Mhm.
And you know, there's people, like I said, all the different sense of humors. There's people that think the Three Stooges are hilarious.
Mhm.
They think that these three guys poking each other in the eye and slapping each other on the head is hilarious. And that is literally dumb comedy. Like it's so dumbed down. And people like that. People
Slapstick.
need that. People
So
don't want to think too much.
Is there still a such thing as a prop comic then?
Oh,
Yes. Carrot Top is a bazillionaire because of it.
Yeah.
Carrot Top still has his residency at Luxor.
yeah. When
He's making a killer. And then there's
What was the guy with the watermelon?
that was
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Mhm.
Gallagher had the
Yeah,
watermelon,
the
but watermelon
Sledge-O-Matic.
was just the ending bit.
Solomon, the Sledge-O-Matic. Remember, it was the
Oh.
Sledge-O-Matic.
Oh, I never saw it. I just knew this
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
with
yeah.
the watermelon.
So Tom Sims, who owns Stir Crazy Comedy Club
Okay.
in Arizona,
Mhm.
has a Sledge-O-Matic in the green room
Oh, no
in,
way.
a shadow box. It's pretty
Ah,
cool. Yeah.
that's fun.
But
But I liked that as a small. I liked that when I was little.
that was hilarious when we were
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
Remember Howie Mandel?
yeah.
People
Oh,
don't
he was
remember
great.
Howie
He was a
Mandel would
prop
come out
comic.
on stage
He was a prop comic.
with a bag of tricks.
Pre-bald Howie Mandel.
Oh yeah.
Curly haired.
Remember he would put on the latex glove and then go and make it
Mm-hmm.
and then boonk, you
Yeah.
know?
Mm.
Yeah, he did all that stuff. He was so crazy when he was a young comic.
Right.
And then
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin was a prop comic. Steve Martin
One of
had
my
the hair-
favorite bits that he would do is when he was blowing up the balloons, and he'd say, "I like to cuss inside of them, so when they pop, they go, hey, motherfucker."
But here's the thing though, that's his joke. It's not the prop.
And he would
Yeah.
call it back, like he would be like doing the. Remember, he would go, "Your lower intestine" with the balloon art,
Yeah.
and he would actually after that bit later on, he would actually accidentally pop one, and he would lean over and go, "Motherfucker," like that when it would pop, you know.
He was so fire. Rusty Dooley.
I remember Rusty Dooley.
Rusty
Yep.
Dooley had
He had
just
that army guy character that he would do.
oh
too,
my
remember?
god, he did Tom Cruise on stage
Uh-huh.
with the sunglasses.
Yep.
He did a Jurassic Park thing with the toys. He
Mhm.
did the army guy, but then he did the cyborg, the Terminator thing with
Mm-hmm.
the eye.
And he was the guy that he would come up, like you said, Solomon, he would come up, here's a stool, and he would put the big suitcase on top of the stool, open it up, and he'd have all these stuff in there, you know.
Yeah,
The
but
trip.
again, different type of comedy.
Yeah.
You know, because then there's just guys that go up there and they're just funny people and they say things funny. They tell a story and make it funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Then there's the people that think that the word is the funny part.
Mm.
Like I have to say shit and fart and butthole to be funny.
Mm.
Well, no,
That's
it's
the
just the way
worst.
you're telling. It's just the story you're
Yeah.
telling. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's the intellectual comedian, and what's known in recent years as the alt comic, who likes to go up there and go, you know, my brother would get it, but like they would talk about like the native language on Tatooine, like, and would
Oh, they
expect
do
everybody to
that?
fucking get it. You know what I mean?
But that's not.
Or they quote like obscure writers. You know,
Mhm.
just bad,
Yeah.
bad. But there are people out there that like it, and I can't fault these young fucks for their taste in comedy because they're not given anything. They're not being shown any good comedy.
Right.
Mm.
The one again, I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way, but when I get in conversations with others about comics and stuff, someone inevitably brings up Dunham. And you like Jeff Dunham?
Not a comedian.
And I'm like, nah, don't.
Dunham
Not at
is
all.
a ventriloquist.
He's a ventriloquist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Kinda
gonna,
racist.
I was gonna ask if you could mix like magic and comedy or things.
They
like
do.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
There are some really funny guys out there that do that. You know, you have the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach.
Right.
And usually what they do is they have a lineup of all stand-up comedy comics, but it's usually all comics nowadays, but every once in a while on the weekends or whatever, they throw in what they call a variety act. And it's either usually a magician or a juggler
And usually the magicians down there, though, are pretty funny.
They
They get some funny guys in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some funny dudes in there.
And I guess the jokes are prepped, so
Mm.
Yeah.
that makes it easier.
One of my favorite types of comedic magicians are bad magicians.
Mm.
Yeah.
The jokes go when the tricks don't work and they go wrong and they it's to me I think that's great.
Yeah, and make jokes about the joke.
Yeah.
There are
things
these
wrong.
moments in these guys' careers where they find a thing, and they go,
Yeah.
wow, that's something, and this is a
Oh, yeah.
big turning point now.
Oh
for
yeah,
me."
that's happening with a lot of people. It happened with
You have
Larry,
a thing
Larry
like
the
that?
Cable Guy. What a lot of people don't know about Larry the Cable Guy, Andrew Dice Clay, that character was just a part of their actual act. It was just
Right.
one singular part of it.
Right.
But that single part got so popular, but that became their identity.
Right.
Now he's just only labeled Larry the Cable Guy. He's only Andrew Dice Clay.
Right.
And that's happening with a lot of guys right now. A buddy of mine, Renee Vaca, he has this bit that kind of blew him up. He calls it The Leg. And it's basically him showing how he puts his leg up during sex on a stool and fucks the stool, right? Well, that blew him up. Blew him up. And
Wow.
he even has a medallion of himself with his leg up. It's insane. But I have to say,
But real quick though, there's that. But what I also meant was like maybe you discovered a technique one night that you did something a little different that made it. You know what I mean?
well, that in any bit, like certain deliveries and like certain words to say and certain ways to close it, that's all part of the art form, the act of writing and
Right.
figuring that out.
Okay.
As far as finding my voice and who I am, it's the thing I did from day one is I just went up and was myself. I didn't talk with a certain cadence that's different than off stage. I didn't talk with a certain accent that's different off stage. I didn't.
All your bits are all.
Yeah, when I
things that
do
happen.
a black audience, I don't like cater hard black to that. I don't do that. I just do.
you.
When I do Latino audiences, I don't go, "Orale, guys, check it out. My wife's Mexican." I don't ever do that.
No.
I talk about it eventually, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like
Pander.
oh boy, you see a lot of comics do that, especially white comics on black shows. It's
Oh yeah.
hilarious.
Oh man.
Well, see, how y'all doing? Y'all good?
Talk about cringe.
Oh, that makes me cringe.
Talk about cringe.
So I started doing it as a joke.
Uh,
I started opening up my set like this. I'm like, what's up? How y'all motherfuckers doing? Y'all good? And everybody like cheering. And I'm like, just kidding. I don't talk like that. But some of you are like, what the hell's about to happen for the next 30 minutes?
That's a great bit. Yeah.
the funny thing is, you sound so authentic sometimes, and you do talk like that.
I watch a lot of rap. I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's a couple guys that go on stage and they really turn on that urban accent for certain.
Yeah, I know one.
God, it's so cringy, dude. It is so cringe. It literally, I just go, I feel like I'm sinking into my body. Like, oh, why is he doing that? And how come he's not aware of it? And the thing is, that's the thing that I think what's very important in comedy is a huge ability to have self-awareness, to be aware with what you're doing and what you're doing, where you're doing it, and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And not have the self-awareness to go, this is so cringy what I'm doing right now. Makes it even worse. Oh, my head just goes, and I go into my mouth and I disappear.
Yeah.
So what I do when I know a comic's going to do that, especially if it's somebody I know, I leave the room. And here's why. Because inevitably a lot of comics are going to come up to you and go, hey, what'd you think of my set?
And you don't lie.
And
I don't want to lie.
I
So I was like, I wasn't in the room. I didn't see it.
had to go reorganize my socks or something.
Yeah, I had to take a really, how long was your set? 15 minutes? I had to take a 15-minute long shit during your set.
I do remember recently there was a guy at one of the shows we went to at Chocolate Sunday.
Yeah.
And he was talking to everybody like
Normally?
and when he went on stage, it was all of a sudden he had this like
All of a sudden, he was a Southern black man.
accent.
Oh.
Not even just
was
black, but
so
a Southern black. Yeah, I was out here doing my thing. It was so weird.
And then he caught off stage and started talking again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know
Wow.
this person, by the way.
Yeah. I remember I go, where are you from?
Yeah. Yep. So don't do that. Find your voice. Be you. Be funny. And if you're not, quit. Please quit
Find
immediately.
your
Quit
voice.
immediately. And also stop posting stand-up clips that aren't good and aren't ready. Because another big thing in this industry, a lot of people don't know, is first impressions. First impressions is big. People are going to remember that first thing and never want to look at you again. The key to being a successful comic or entertainer in general is that you want them to want to come back. You want them to want to come back. There are a lot of comics out there that will sell tickets to their first show, but people aren't going to go, yeah, let's go see him again when he's in town. My goal is to become the comic that people want to keep going to see.
Yeah. They're checking your page every day,
Yeah.
trying to see where you're at.
Yep.
Yeah.
which isn't happening yet, but
Working on it.
working on it.
It's rough, man.
It's a very competitive business. And, you know, I'm a straight middle-aged white guy, so I'm public enemy number 1 right now. I can't say shit. But what I can say is thank you for joining us here on Unidentical Pod at Podcast Place in Long Beach, California. Guys, thank you so much for listening again and sticking with us. Keep it up. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the ring notification bell. You know, 5-star rating, reviews on all the streamings or where you download your podcast. And tell a friend. Share this podcast. If you're enjoying it, if you enjoy it, why not share it with someone else? Give them the gift of David and Jason.
Yeah.
David, bye.
Unidentical.